Hey, what's up guys? Keto Vashi back here. So, after my first video, I had a lot of people kind of hitting me up and wanting to know, okay, I heard you, I understand what keto is, but how do I get ready for my first day? And so I thought, well, maybe I should just share with you guys everything that I currently have to kind of keep me on my keto journey. I'll probably be doing some other videos kind of breaking down each one in their own little category, but for right now, as you're getting prepared, you don't have to have everything you see here, but I'm gonna kind of let you know these are kind of some of the things I went and bought as doing my own research or whatever have you. So I have like a whole little area of my cupboard just for keto stuff. So hey, let's get right into it. Roll that beautiful bean footage. So, you made a decision that I want to try this thing called keto diet. Great, but you don't know where to begin. It's like, okay, I watched a couple of YouTube videos, I watched here, but no one's really said, okay, what do I do on day one? How do I even get to day one? Now that I kind of understand what the keto diet is, all right, how do I actually apply it? What do I need to get? What's the thought process behind it as far as getting prepared? So I'm gonna break this video up into 3 different sections. Your food, your fasting, and your future. 3 F's, food, fasting, and your future. So let's start with food. So I said, okay, I wanna start the keto diet. So I just started doing my research. What do I need to get? You're probably going to your cabinet right now and you're saying, okay, can I keep any of this? For me, I said no. I had to throw out everything. I'm not saying you have to. I just said that I had to throw out everything because if it's there, I'm gonna eat it. Let's just be real about the situation, okay? So what are the alternatives that are already in my cabinet? So I learned that there are sugar substitutes, there are flour substitutes, and then there are some other things that just help food just taste kind of how it used to taste, you know? It might not be exactly the same, but at least it'll be really, really close to it. So I kind of brought out some examples for you. So we're gonna start with sugars. So there are some sugars out there that are specifically for people who are on the keto diet, because remember, you want to take out as much of real sugar as you possibly can out of your diet because it spikes inside of your blood because it starts to slow down of you regulating your body to react to this new keto diet. So I have a couple of sugars that I have here that I want to show you guys. So there are some popular sugars that on the keto diet that we just use. One of them is probably the biggest one is stevia. So stevia comes in both a liquid form and also a powder form. Now I use this Better Stevia Original. Now this one bottle right here can probably last you maybe 2 or 3 years. I've had this same bottle for the past 8 months and I probably use it daily by just little drops because a little drop goes a long way. When you talk about artificial sweeteners, sometimes they taste even more sweet than actual real sugar. So you have to be really, really careful on how you use any of these sugar substitutes. So this is, like I said, Better Stevia, Original Liquid Stevia. It is a must to put a little bit more sweetness inside of any of your dishes, your coffees, your drinks, your food, or whatever have you. This is a really good thing to have. I have a link in the description that gives you a direct link to be able to buy this off of Amazon. So that's one thing that I really recommend everyone have inside their cupboard as they're starting the new keto diet. Erythritol, that's another, this is kind of the granulated version of erythritol, and erythritol is another just sugar substitute. It has a little bit of an aftertaste, stevia does too, a little bit, but once you start eating enough of it, you don't even recognize it no more. Monk fruit, that's another natural sweetener. These are not like real sugars, these are actually plant-based sweeteners. Monk fruit regular sweetener and also a monk fruit golden. It's kind of like a brown sugar. So these are also part of my arsenal. One of the most popular sugar substitute is Swerve. I have 3 different Swerves. I have Swerve Granular, I have Swerve Confectioners, and I have Swerve Brown Sugar. I use the brown sugar in some of my baked goods. I use the confectioners also in my baked goods. Sometimes it's not as strong as the granular because then you'll get that little grittiness if you don't have a confectioner's version of it. But those are definitely some of the most popular brands. And again, there's some links below in the description to kind of let you know where you can get those on Amazon. All right, so let's talk about flour. So, you know, flour is a starch and it's very, very, very high in carbohydrates. So what I do is that I have actually a couple of different flours that I use when I'm either baking or I'm using it in any of my sauces or anything like that. Starting off with almond flour. Now there's a lot of brands out there. I actually like Anthony's brand, and it's the bleached almond flour. This is a must-have. This bag has probably lasted me the past maybe 2 or 3 months. As you can see, it's almost gone because I use it a lot. So this is definitely a must-have. There's a link in the description below as well. You can get you some of this blanched almond flour. Absolutely. And if you don't really like almond flour, they also have coconut flour. This one's a little flakier when you're making certain dishes like cookies or something like that. It's a little softer, not as dense as almond flour, but it's a definite must-have. Then we have Bob's Red Meal. This is also almond flour, but it's not the blanch, so it's a little browner. So you can use this when you're making your waffles or pancakes or bread or stuff like that. This is another must-have, absolutely must-have. For those of us that like smoothies, they also have this flaxseed, and you want to get you a bag of this. You're probably not going to use this a whole lot, just depending on if that's something that you like. But this is also an option inside of some of the recipes that I'll be doing. You'll be seeing that flaxseed may come up, so this is also another option. Link it below in the description. So let's talk about powders. So we have a couple of powders that are my go-tos. So this little gem is called xanthan gum. That's Xanthum. Xanthan gum is a natural thickening agent. Trust me, a little bit goes a long way. You probably will use this same small bottle here for at least 2 or 3 years because you're using almost a thimble size amounts of it to actually thicken. So when you're like making sauces or gravies or something like that, this is your go-to. Xanthan gum, it will help you as you're starting to do your thickening agents because we can't use flour, so you have other remedies to help you get that nice thick type of consistency in your different dishes. So xanthan gum, definitely. One bottle probably will last you about 2 or 3 years. All right, of course, as we know, baking powder, baking soda, but of course there are 2 different things. So you want to make sure you have some baking powder on deck. Also, make sure you have some baking soda on deck because as you start to do baking, if that's your thing, and it will be some of the things we try out later on down the line, this is definitely something that you want to get. All right, so I always like some form of chocolate, and this is probably one of the other powders that I always keep on hand. Cacao powder, which helps put that extra chocolate goodness in some of my baked goods and even some of the fried stuff that I may make. Yes, definitely. This is also a go-to. I have this little treat that I make, just kind of like a chocolate fluff, but we need some of this cacao powder. So definitely a go-to. Link in the description below. So I am black, if you have not noticed. I like my food to have some flavor to it. So some of my go-tos is when I'm making my meats or something like that, maybe some meatballs, something like that, I like to put some sauces into it. And so there is a brand called G Hughes right here. You'll see sugar-free versions. They have some sugar-free honey mustard, some sugar-free sweet and spicy barbecue sauce, some sugar-free original barbecue sauce. I always keep that. They also have some sugar-free vinaigrette for your salads. You might can find this in your local grocery stores. Food Line definitely carries this brand, but I have some links below in the description where you can get your own. Trust me, these things come in handy. They also have like a keto no sugar ketchup that's really good. This no sugar ketchup by Heinz is definitely keto friendly as well. So if you can't find that, you also can find this in your local grocery stores. I also have a link in the description below where you can get this. All right, so I'm a coffee drinker. I really drink coffee a lot. That may not be your thing, but there's a thing called bulletproof coffee, and I like to put some type of flavorings in my coffees. So I have this French vanilla by Tirani. I don't know. So, but yeah, they have this French vanilla syrup is sugar-free, as well as this sugar-free hazelnut. Definitely a go-to must have. Of course, lemon juice never goes out of style. Always a recipe is asking for some of the fresh squeezed lemon juice or some lemon juice. I always keep that on deck. Flavorings, again, I like my meat to have flavorings, and my go-to, Worcestershire sauce. Or is it Worcestershire? Or is it Worcestershire? I don't know. You don't know. You know it. This thing, woo! And it is my go-to, absolutely go-to, must have. Forget all that. You gotta have some Worcestershire sauce, especially if you black, because we just need some flavor in our stuff. Absolutely. Any mustard is really good. So you can pretty much get any brown mustard or regular mustard, keto friendly, absolutely. I have some horseradish mustard, all keto friendly, so you're really good. Sugar-free syrup. Listen, I thought this wasn't a thing, but it's an actual thing. You're gonna want this. Link in the description below. All right, let's talk about some cooking oils. So I use olive oil, cooking spray, also butter, real butter. Do not use margarine. Absolutely not, because margarine has saturated fats, and we want to steer away from saturated fats. Only natural fats. Remember, high fat, low carb. Butter, real butter. I use the Kerrygold Irish butter. You can get it at any store. Trust me, Food Lion's got it on deck. Either the unsalted or the salted, depending on what you're cooking. Definitely a must-have. There's a thing called organic ghee. That's also a cooking agent that I also use. It's pretty much, it's like when you cook butter, it's like a little film on the top as you're churning and cooking butter and getting it prepared to be turned into butter. It's that film at the top. It's like probably the most high fat of the butter. They skim that off, and that's called ghee. And so this is also something, it keeps very, very well. You can keep it in the cupboard. You don't have to keep it in the refrigerator. Keeps really, really well. Ghee. That's also another cooking agent. You're gonna want a lot of eggs. If you don't like eggs, I don't know if keto is right for you, because we use eggs in just about everything. Eggs and mozzarella cheese. There are so many recipes that use eggs and mozzarella cheese. You'll be surprised how many times you're gonna see these two items come up on this channel. Absolutely. So have enough eggs on deck, and make sure that you have enough mozzarella cheese. Of course, other cheeses that are also keto friendly, we have our cheddar cheese, our cottage cheese, our cream cheese, all those 100% keto friendly, of course, in moderation. If dairy doesn't make your body do weird things, absolutely, those things are okay. Probably want to steer way away from like whole milk and skim milks. You can also do heavy cream. Heavy cream is really big on the keto diet. So that's another thing that you want to have in your arsenal as you're trying to win this new thing called keto. You want to make sure you're having those things on deck. So that's just a quick introduction with food. Of course, you don't need all of these items when you're first starting keto. Absolutely not. This is as a result of 8 months of doing this thing. So I have pretty much everything in my home is keto friendly. So that's why you kind of see all of these different items that I've accumulated over the past couple of months. But of course, start small. Butter, eggs, bacon, you know, those type of things. Those are probably the first thing that you're going to be using when you're doing your breakfast. Regular fatty meats like salmon, chicken. You want to watch chicken, because chicken has a tendency to spike some of your levels. But pork, steak. So yeah, you still have a whole lot of options that you can eat. You know what I'm saying? You're taking out rice, you're taking out pastas, you're taking out potatoes. You can still have vegetables. You want to try to get vegetables that grow on top of the ground and not vegetables that grow beneath the ground. So like potatoes, grains, probably your leafy greens are pretty much going to be your go-tos. As far as if you had to, mushrooms in moderation, carrots in moderation. You want to watch the carb level on all of those. So it's like you're going to be looking at labels. Absolutely. You're going to be looking at labels to kind of see how much carbs, or just looking up on the internet, how many carbs are in this, and just kind of just base that off of where you are in your daily carb count, and you'll be fine. Trust me. Let's go on to fasting. So a part of the keto diet, they always say that intermediate fasting is something that's going to be really, really good to really push your keto journey. So intermediate fasting is, say for instance, some people do 12, 8, 12. So it's like they'll fast for 12 hours, eat, fast for another 8 hours, eat. So it's like 12 hours again. Some people they'll do 12, 16, 12. So there's so many different options out there, but you do what's best for you. You have a fasting window, an eating window, fasting window. You actually get better results if you incorporate intermediate fasting. And that's how people are losing a whole lot of weight in a small amount of time, because not only doing the keto diet, but they're also doing intermediate fasting. We're gonna do another video to kind of go through that, what that actually means later on down the lines. But figure out a schedule that works for you and then just stick to it. And you'll see the results happen. It has no choice but to work out. Fasting always helps you lose weight. You know what I'm saying? You're not eating. You're helping your body to stay in a state of ketosis. So it's like you're giving it some nutrients, but you're also letting it do the work, your body do the work for you. And then you eat again, let the body do the work. You eat again, let your body do the work. Intermittent fasting, trust me, it will help you. After you kind of already started the keto diet, what to expect in the future. So for some people, when they first start the keto diet, they go through what is called a keto flu. It's a reaction to your body is now eating differently. It is storing food differently. It is trying to regulate based off of your new diet. Trust me, it will pass. For some people, they feel sluggish. Some people, they feel tired. And this usually happens around maybe week 2 or 3. But after you make it past that, then your body just gets regulated. This gets regulated, and you'll start to see yourself get back to an equilibrium. Once your body starts using the high fats for energy, you'll start to see that, one, you start eating less and you start getting more energy. So once you like stick to the diet, you just kind of got to get through those first 2 or 3 weeks. If you're really consistent in doing the diet, you'll start seeing that first 10, 15 pounds fall off like, I don't know. Stick to the program, it works. Trust me, you can do this. Okay, so I gave you guys a lot to chew on today. I introduced a lot of different products, and I kind of wanted to kind of just introduce some of them in the beginning because I will be using those in the recipes that I'll be recreating, and I want you to kind of be familiar with what I'm talking about. So in the description below, you're going to see some links of some of these products that you can go and get yourself. I know for some of us, going to the grocery store is not an option, and Amazon has become your best friend. These are some affiliate links below, and yes, there is a commission, but trust me, some of these products are definitely going to help you and aid you in the beginnings of your keto diet. As you're changing your body, you also have to change what you're putting inside of your body. This is how this diet works. There are no shortcuts. Absolutely no shortcuts. For some, that weight is gonna come off really, really quickly. Others, it's gonna take a little bit longer. If you stick to it, you'll see results. So lastly, I've been doing the keto diet for a while now, right? And there's been times where I have slipped up. I'll say like this past weekend, I wouldn't call it a slip up. It was an intentional cheat meal. So that means I have to take a couple of days to get my body back into ketosis. That usually takes about 3 to 4 days, right? Depending on your body. Some people, they can get right back into it within a day or 2. Me, it takes about 3 days. So I actually fast for 72 hours. In doing that, I flush out all the carbohydrates that I just mistakenly took into my body. That just kind of gets you back into doing the right things in this diet. So there are going to be some times that you may slip up. That's okay. Trust me, it's fine. Just do the work to get you back to where you need to be. I'm hoping this helps everybody as they're contemplating starting this diet, and it gets you ready for day 1. Day 1 is really, even for me, I start with the fast, and then I'll start to slowly bring in different ways of eating. And there are a lot of websites and keto coaches out there that will supply some meal plans for you to follow. I would suggest that you kind of do your own research to find the right person that can help with that meal plan. I'm not really a keto coach, but I am going to be a motivator. I'm gonna try to share some of the things that I've learned to help motivate you and to help steer you in the right direction. There are some people who are way better experts than me, but for this channel, I'm just kind of sharing some of my tricks of the trade. And hopefully something that I share with you guys will help you on your journey. So I hope this video helped. I didn't plan to do this type of video yet, but you guys asked for it, so here you go. Good luck on your keto journey and good luck on your day 1. This may be day 1. This may be day 90. This may be 90, or this may be day 1 all over again. Like for me, I had a cheat meal. So next Monday is about to be day 1 all over again. Hey, if you don't first succeed, try again. Don't nobody care. All you gotta do is convince is yourself. Day 1 can start today. Let's go get it.